What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Ask Dan Anything. This might be a slightly long one, but I think it's an important one. And it's about the classic old situation of being stuck in the friend zone, particularly getting into a pattern of that, where every girl that you pursue romantically ends up being a platonic friend, and you seem to just repeat this over and over again. Okay. Now, I've already done heaps of material on Stuck in the Friend Zone, but I'm going to take this guy's specific story and break it down and try to be as accurate and as detailed as possible about why this keeps happening and what I see in it. Because this is coming from a guy I know personally. I've seen him interact with women, and I've seen him interact with me, and I've seen the difference between those two things. And it's in that difference that the struggle exists. I won't go through his whole story, but long story short, he met a girl at his hobby. Asked her out basically, or I think she asked him out, sort of thing, or asked him to go out for food. He thinks that they felt attracted to each other, but she was in a relationship, so he didn't bother going anywhere with that. He tried to be skipping the small talk. He tried to be really open and honest with her and vulnerable with her in the conversation, what we call polarizing honesty, letting her see who he really is. Then, what happened then? He did sort of mention attraction towards her, but it was indirect, and I get a sense it didn't happen very strongly, and it didn't happen early. It didn't happen when he was actually feeling it. It happened later. And after that, she basically gave him the message like, I sense you want more than a friendship, but I can't do more right now. Turns out she wasn't actually in a relationship, but she's just broken up with someone. Now he realizes the whole attraction thing was one of the issues. He didn't express it boldly or early enough, and that's one of the main reasons the friend zone thing happens to guys. So they miss that window of opportunity. They become a friend before they express attraction. And he still wants to maintain a friendship with her. Now I've already done material on how to maintain a friendship with someone you're attracted to, so I'm not actually going to go into that today. What I'm going to look at is why people get into this pattern, why guys get into a pattern of one platonic friendship with a girl after another and never being able to sort of cross that line into a romantic sexual relationship, despite wanting to. Now, on one hand, when you're dealing with a girl who's just gotten out of a big long-term relationship, I'd say kind of that's not the ideal person to try and get into a relationship with. Okay, someone on the rebound is not very emotionally stable, guy or girl. They're grieving. They don't even know what they want at that point. Okay, so it's not the ideal person to try and build a partnership with. So let's just skip ahead to the real issue here, which is constant friend zoning. Now, like I mentioned, I've seen this guy in action. I've seen him speaking with women, and I've seen him speaking with me and people he's not attracted to, and there is a small but significant difference. And that difference is why I think he's experiencing this repeated friend zone effect. First off, they have to point out the nice guy syndrome. Now, what guys who have nice guy syndrome, people pleasers, what happens is they dull their masculinity. They get into a passive and feminine version of interaction. They're very caring and soft and gentle, and there's none of the hard manliness in there. Okay, even though they're capable of it, and it will come out when they're around people they're not attracted to or not intimidated by. When they're with someone they're attracted to, they become this soft thing. Okay, this tractable, agreeable, passive, gentle thing. So even while you're being vulnerably honest, you'll do so in a way where you're really caring and gentle. And the trouble with being nothing but this is that someone can like it, but they're not going to be attracted to it, and it's not actually fully honest. You're not showing your full range, you're just showing the range that's easy to digest. And almost certainly, I've seen it with this guy, I've seen it with many other guys, they turn on this like gentle switch when they're suddenly talking to someone they're attracted to. With me, they might be a little bit more assertive and disagreeable, like, nah, that's some bullshit, but they'll never be like that with a girl. They suddenly, oh, and they're just, soft. And they don't even seem to notice themselves doing this. And when I used to do it, I didn't notice it. I didn't even notice that I took the bass out of my voice, that I would be much more considerate of their opinions than I would of someone else I disagreed with, and all these little signs that I'd become much more gentle and agreeable. And that's the next point, is often you're just too agreeable, okay? There's nothing to push against. You know, if someone, when a nice guy is interacting with someone they're attracted to, if the person they're attracted to says some sort of opinion that the nice guy strongly disagrees with, instead of him going, that's bullshit, he'll be like, oh, well, I can see why you think that way, or, you know, well, we each to his own. There's this real, like anti-resistance, you know, and that's very unattractive. It's very likable, but it's unattractive. You got to understand, being attractive and being likable are not the same thing. There's an overlap, but there's crucial differences. Okay? A masculine person, if somebody says something that's bullshit, they'll call it bullshit. It doesn't matter who that person is. But a nice guy, it will matter who the person is. If it's someone they're trying to get something from, or someone they're hoping for an outcome with, they'll really dull down their response to make sure it doesn't like cause any rocking of the boat. So in the case of the guy who wrote through, he was being honest in terms of being vulnerable about his past and all the dark stuff that he's been through, but I'm guessing he wasn't being confrontational. Okay, he might have been honest about things that she might judge him on, but he wasn't pushing back against the things he judged her on. Okay, he wasn't showing that he's judgmental. He was probably being very overly accepting, like everything about her is fine, got nothing bad to say about it. And that's just not honest. Okay, and it's not attractive. It's likable, but it's not attractive. Odds are you are asexual. So you're not showing interest or attraction in a sexual, physical way. You know, particularly physical. So a nice guy showing attraction might be asking someone out or saying, oh, you're a lovely person. Or I really like what you're doing with your job. But they won't be like, damn, look at those legs. Woman, Christ, you're going to give me a heart attack. They won't have that like raw, like, I like you coming out, even though they're feeling it. Okay? And this is one of the biggest things, to be able to get like shameless about attraction. To not just be like, after 4 hours of sweating, go, I think I like you. But as soon as you see them, just be like, whoa, damn. And just let them have that. It's not assault to do that. Okay? One of the ways you can do it is to kind of help you work through that, oh, I don't want to offend her, or I don't want to cross a boundary, is you can sort of express it like you're holding yourself back, you know? You can be like, wow, you are too smoking hot. I can't even look at you right now. Seriously, like, if we're going to have a friendship, you're going to have to put a bag over your head or something, because I just can't handle how hot you are. You know, only a psychotic woman's going to get offended by that. Alright? It's that half-hearted attempt, like, I think I like you. That's the creepy thing. And that's the thing where she's like, oh, he's like a little boy, you know? If you come across as a little boy, it's impossible for her to be attracted to, because it puts her in the mother role, okay? You need to be the man if you want her to be attracted to you. And a man isn't ashamed of his attraction. A man isn't tentative. A man doesn't deprioritize it. It's the most obvious thing occurring to him, so it's the thing he says. So I really think part of your development is you need to just practice expressing attraction boldly with masculine intent. Not like, oh, I like the way the sunlight reflects off your hair. No, you fucking don't, right? You saw it and you're just like, fucking hot. So say that, okay? You can be more articulate and say, you know what, in this dance class, out of all the girls here, you're the one my eye just keeps getting drawn to you, you know? Like I'm trying to like learn and I just keep fucking getting pulled over, and you can say it like that, you know, you can have some fun with it. Instead of it being this big deal. You need to get to the point where being attracted to someone is not a big deal. And the only way you're going to get there is repetitive expression of it until it is normal for you. This friend zone thing will not go away until that particular point is sorted more than anything else. And that's also in the realm of confrontational. She might not like that. And you have to be prepared for her to be upset and uncomfortable emotionally. If you cannot be okay with someone being uncomfortable about you, you're always going to be asexual, lacking in masculinity, overly agreeable, and none of that stuff is hot. Okay? And it's not even honest about you. You're hiding who you really are. Odds are you're also trying too hard. It comes across as, it's interesting. I like to watch people on a first date. You can always spot them if you're at the cafe or the restaurant, who's there on a first date. There's like a brittle desperateness to their aura. You know, you walk past them and you're like, ugh. You can just feel it. If you watch them, the body language, the overly excited way or the overly interested way they pay attention, it's kind of yuck. Whereas somebody on their 20th date, they're relaxed, they're amused, they're curious, they might be paying attention, but they're not desperately trying to show that they're paying attention. They don't have that brittleness to it. So one thing you can kind of frame it before you go on the date with somebody is just be like, okay, imagine they're already my best friend and we have no chance of sleeping together ever. How would I behave then? How would I behave if this was my favourite younger sister? You know, how would I behave if we were already married and I was allowed to be myself? What would I be like then? If I couldn't lose them, how would I behave? Because that's the real you and that's the attractive you. Okay? And I practice this myself. A little frame someone taught me is like, act as if they're already your girlfriend. Which didn't help me much at the time because I was a people pleaser with girlfriends. But what I'd do is it would allow me to just disagree with them and just not pretend to be interested unless I really was. I could show boredom. I could be antisocial. I could be all the things that I didn't want to risk being around someone I wanted to get. And ironically, and what blew my mind is that was more attractive than me being very agreeable and overly interested and super keen, which was kind of a performance. There'll be definitely no leadership. You know, already in the example you gave, she asked you out. You know, now it's not wrong for a girl to ask a guy out, but it certainly isn't going to help if the girl's doing all the leading. Okay? I want you to practice being bold and confrontational with your leadership. You know, if you get to the burger place, say, you know what, I'm going to order for you. You'll love this. Now, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong, she's going to be thrilled, right? But even better, you'll be like, I'm going to take you somewhere. I'm not even going to tell you where it is, but you're going to love it. Come with me. Just really own the situation. Lead for your own thrills, you know. But if you're sort of like, well, what do you feel like doing? Well, I could give you a list of options and you could choose. That makes you the little boy and her the mother, all right? Nothing's going to go anywhere with that kind of dynamic. What else have we got? Odds are you're still going into these situations driven by an unconscious or conscious need to avoid uncomfortable emotions. All right? Now, it sounds like the guy's written in here, it sounds like he's made some progress on this. He's at least willing to talk about his dark history and his dark past and bring up some potential judgment and stuff there. But we're still looking like avoidance of rapport breaking, of confrontation, of the awkwardness of attraction being expressed. There's still some emotions that are being avoided, particularly in her. You might be really open and bold about your dark side, but are you talking about your strengths? Are you willing to have her judge you as someone who's bragging, or someone who thinks he's, too good for other people, or anything like that? Are you willing to risk that judgment? Because if not, then you're not showing your full self, okay? You're not letting her see that you don't just have a dark history, poor little boy, but you can take care of some shit too. You're proud of yourself for this, that, and the other as well. Let her see that side. What I'd suggest in terms of making this practical, push them away with honesty. Whatever honesty you think will scare them off, get it out there. Right? If you think being tired on the date will make you less attractive, then be fucking tired on the date. Alright? Yawn and say, fuck, I am tired. This is the wrong night for a date, but hey, we're here now, let's make it work. You can put anything out there that your mind goes, nah, inappropriate. As soon as you feel attraction, get it out there. As soon as you disagree, get it out there. Right? Now, there's nothing wrong with being friends with a woman, and I think there's actually a lot of benefits to be had in that. But that's not your biggest issue right now. If anything, you've got an abundance of that. Your issue is being sexual and masculine and honest and disagreeable with women. Not being friends with them, but being real with them. That's the thing you need to be working on much more than friendship. Okay? So focus on that. Focus on unleashing your masculinity in the presence of anyone. Focus on being you no matter who the audience is. Even if you really hope it works with them, be you anyway. Let them walk away in a huff like, oh my god, he's disgusting. Let them do that. Because the girl who's right for you isn't going to walk away from that. She's going to go, oh, finally, a real dude. After 10 months on Tinder and nothing but fucking douchebags, I got a guy who's real. Yay! Be that guy. Right? But you'll need to be disagreeable as well as agreeable. You'll need to show attraction as well as just passive, gentle interest. You need to be hard and soft. I'm going to post a podcast I did recently called The 5 Rules of Healthy Masculinity. Listen to it. Go experiment with it. See if it works for you. Hope that helps. Friendzone's a fucking nightmare. I spent most of my life there. It just made me want to fucking top myself. It was just miserable. But it was all of my own creation. Alright? I was holding back the hardness in me and being nothing but soft. And there's no... I mean, listen to it. What girl wants soft? Right? You've got to have the mixture. You've got to be all you. Hope that helps. Subscribe if you enjoyed that video and share it around. And check out the links below if you want to get further involved in Brojo and get your questions answered. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.